Feeling quite uneasy, I voiced out, "Father, would miss you." Father replied, "Don't worry, I'll be back soon, okay?" Knowing how much his absence would be felt. Upon arriving at the family house, we were greeted warmly, followed by a family meeting. Father continued, "I have come to leave these 12 children with you. I am going to prepare our house abroad. You know it's a beautiful, spacious, and peaceful place. I will return soon to take you all there, so that where I am, you may also be." "All right then," the elders asked, "when do you plan to come back?" "I'm not sure yet," Father replied honestly. "It depends on how quickly the work progresses, but I won't be gone for long." The next morning, Father rose early and set off on his journey. As soon as he was off site, the 6 eldest children, we grabbed our ball and headed outside to play. Meanwhile, the younger 6 children busied themselves by rearranging and unintentionally disorganizing the house. Despite everyone's efforts to get them to behave, they paid no heed. One day, an elder returned from work and gathered all 12 children together. "I saw your father," the elder began. "Is it a joke?" We looked at him, and he told me that he's coming to take all of us to the new house, except for the noisy troublemakers among you. The youngest children fell silent, taking the elder's words seriously, but we older children were skeptical. "How did you know where father was? Have you seen the house?" we asked, curious for details so we could go to meet our father. "Yes, I've seen it," the elder confirmed. "Then describe it to us so we can go to help him," we insisted. "It's too far," the elder replied firmly. "You can't go there." "But you went there this morning and came back this evening now." "Let us all go there tomorrow morning," we pressed. "No, I've been told not to bring you," the elder dodged. As our questions grew more insistent, the elder seemed at a loss of words. Finally, in frustration, he declared, "Children in our culture, you don't question elders. Have some respect." We fell silent, frustrated with unanswered questions. The elder continued, "From now on, I will start the noisemaker list," and he affixed a long sheet of paper titled just that by the main door. The atmosphere remained tense, with a lingering hunger for answers and clarity. From that point on, we did our best to maintain good behavior, but it was challenging for us children to completely change our ways. The top of the list featured Tutu, the youngest girl, who had cried because she felt her portion of food was too small. Saying her name on the list upset her even more, and she cried all night. The experience transformed Tutu into a more gentle and considerate girl, surprising us all with her newfound maturity and humility. With the elders away at work again, we couldn't resist the urge to play our football. Again, we sorely missed, pleading with our younger ones to keep watch for the elders' return. They quickly distanced themselves one by one. "Count me out, so I'm not involved," they all exclaimed, making excuses. Nevertheless, nothing can stop our football, we declared as we forged ahead. The match started well in the first half, until the Messi amongst us attempted a powerful shot and scored a goal quickly. The ball soared high with excitement, defying our intentions and landed straight on our neighbor's roof. What a trouble. Uncle was the first to emerge from their house. Panic gripped us all, and we scattered like startled gazelles to find hiding spots. Uncle managed to catch three of us and seized our ball, promptly writing our names again on the noisemaker list. That night, solemnity hung in the air as we reflected on our actions. Once more, questions arose among us. Could this be really true? Despite our apologies, Uncle insisted that even though he had cancelled our names from the list, Father would still know about our misbehavior. In the days that followed, we maintained our facade of good behavior, but underneath, we were anxious and uncertain. We wondered when Father would return. Should we still be excited for his arrival, or had our recent actions diminished our anticipation? The uncertainty weighed heavily on us as we awaited our Father's return, hoping for clarity and forgiveness. With our ball confiscated and unable to play, we pondered what else we could do to pass the time without causing any more trouble. Let's have a fashion parade, someone suggested. That way, we won't make any noise. Excited by the idea of a quiet activity that wouldn't attract any unwanted attention, we quickly organized ourselves for a fashion parade. Eager to divert our energies into something constructive and peaceful. Excitement filled the room as everyone eagerly prepared for a fashion parade. Oh yeah. We were in the midst of dressing up and applying makeup when one of my friends entered with a serious message. She said Father mentioned to her before he left that he dislikes anyone who doesn't dress according to our culture. My friend relayed, adjusting her gown. You see, that's why I always dress appropriately, so I'll be ready when your father returns. As we continued getting ready, she couldn't resist commenting on each of our outfits. And those earrings looks like tires, she said. And you, she turned to another. You are a girl, but wearing boys' trousers again. We are just having fashion show now. We protested in unison, trying to dismiss our concerns. It doesn't matter, she insisted. He could come back at any moment. What if he arrives and finds you like this? Ignoring our persistence, we focused on our fashion show jare, enjoying the moment amidst our worries about Father's return and his expectations. When we ended our quiet fashion show, we were surprised to see our names multiplied on the list. Not again, Uncle. Like ×3, ×5, ×10, and so on. Panic set in as we realized the severity of our situation. If Father sees you like this, he will think we didn't raise you well, they said. Our uncle's words echoed in our minds, making the younger ones cry in fear. We fell silent, overwhelmed by the consequences looming over us. Summoning courage, I dared to ask, please, sirs and mars, how true is this list? Is it just for punishment, or does it mean Father won't take us to the house? It's both, they answered in unison. You will be punished and you won't go with us to the house. Surprised, I asked further, but how can that be? I know my Father. He loves us deeply. He would sacrifice anything for us. Surely, He wouldn't keep us from going to the house. You are questioning the elders again, one of them warned, standing up to write ×12 next to my name on the list. It was quite funny. We retreated to our room, silent and troubled, pondering our predicament. No answers came, only fear and uncertainty. At midnight, around 12 a.m., while everyone was deep asleep, a strange sound suddenly woke us up. Someone jumped into the house, accompanied by numerous sound instruments, shouting, "Yay!" We all screamed and shouted in response, echoing and vibrating throughout the house. I bet you, when you are that asleep, a noise is always a response to a noise. The sound was so loud that such a sound would wake the soundest and deepest sleepers. Elders attempted to identify the noise. The noise itself was strange, potent, and reverberated powerfully through the walls. Everyone nervously gathered in fear and tension to the living room. What we saw got us amazed. Behold, it was Father. He embraced, kissed, and lifted us up in his arms before we could even utter a word. Glancing back at the noisemaker list, I noticed it has been torn into pieces. By whom? I cannot say. What mattered most was that I would now be joining my beloved Father in our new home with sounds, voices, noises, instruments. We all embarked on our journey to our new home. Those who don't know how to make the sound appeared like strangers in the vehicle. Can someone just make a joyful noise right now?